Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank my colleague from Texas for yielding and for bringing this legislation to the floor. I rise in strong support as the lead author of House Concurrent Resolution 119, along with my colleague, Mr. McKinley from West Virginia. Mr. Speaker, the question is real simple, and that is, do we support or oppose a carbon tax? I think the case is very clear by anybody who's looked objectively at what a carbon tax would do to the economy. It would be devastating to our manufacturing base. It would kill jobs. And I think most devastating, Mr. Speaker, it would rise and increase costs for families all across this country. If you look at this chart right here, it talks about the estimate, what this would do to families. There would be an increase by an estimated $1,900 per family on the cost of things that they buy all across this country. The resolution is simple. It said, be it resolved by the House, that it is a sense of Congress that a carbon tax would be detrimental to American families and businesses and is not in the best interest of the United States. Yes or no? It's a clear yes vote if you're concerned about families. Why don't we talk about some of the groups in support? The Council for Citizens Against Government Waste says a carbon tax would harm the U.S. economy by raising the cost of all goods and services, imposing an unfair burden on the lower and middle class, and deterring new investment, thereby killing jobs. Why don't we listen to what the American Farm Bureau Federation said about a carbon tax? Agriculture is an energy-intensive sector, and a carbon tax levied on farmers and ranchers would be devastating. And then, Mr. Speaker, let's listen to what Grover Norquist of Americans for Tax Reform said. A carbon tax would kill American jobs by the millions. Why would we want to allow the possibility? And believe me, there are some people in Washington that are talking about trying to bring a carbon tax. To act like, oh, there's no talk about it at all. Clearly, there are people here in this chamber that want to impose a carbon tax. Let's be clear about how devastating that would be to the American economy. Everybody gets to take a position on this today, Mr. Speaker. You're either for a carbon tax or against it. I would urge strong support for House Concurrent Resolution 119, and I yield back the balance of my time.